Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully you had a good holiday. I'm Justin Davis with the Drone Camp Store, and today we're going to do a special review. We don't normally do RC car reviews, but this one is pretty cool. This is new from Banggood.com. They sent us this 1/24th off-road buggy, and it is four-wheel drive all the time, and it says that it does on the box 40 miles or 40 kilometers plus. So we're gonna see how fast this thing actually goes. We've seen the videos that they put up, and it looks like they had a lot of fun racing around the course. There's several of these available on the site. I believe there's a Buggy, there's a Truggy, a monster truck, and a few look like drift racer car style bodies for this. So far I've looked at the frame on this, and it looks pretty cool because it does look like a metal body frame, which a lot of these little cars in this price range, they usually have like a plastic body. So really impressed with the metal frame and structure of the body, and the components of this car look pretty nice. Even though it's a brushed motor version, it's still pretty damn fast. So let's go ahead and open up the box now. We'll show you what's inside, and we'll get started with the review. Okay guys, here we go. Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna go ahead and get this unboxed for you, show you what comes in the box. And this is not a bad deal for around $50, but like I said in some of our previous videos, this is not something we sell on our site. This is just a sample that we got, and we're doing the review out of the goodness of our heart for you guys to check this out. So we're gonna give you our honest opinion on it, what we think about it, and whether you should buy it. So let's go ahead, open up the box now. Before I do that, I want to mention that they sent us this little converter. This is a North American outlet standard. This is a 10 amp converter for the charger that comes with this. It does come with a European Union style charger, so make sure that you have a converter. If you need to buy one extra on the site, go ahead and do that. It's probably just a couple dollars, but that'll let you use the battery chargers that's included with this. So let's go ahead and open up the box now. I did remove the wires that were holding the car down and the transmitter in place. First thing you'll see on the end is the manual. The manual for this is really, really nice and very, very detailed. It does have some troubleshooting tips in here. The nicest thing about it is that it has a breakdown of the controller, all the settings in the controller, the tools that you'll need to work on this. It shows exploded diagrams of each part inside the car, which is extremely nice. I don't know if you can see that, but exploded diagrams for each part of the car, the shocks, the chassis, the wheels, the gear drives. Everything is included in here for you if you need to fix anything or work on it. Now, the very back side of the manual is really nice, that it has all the spare parts in here and all the stock numbers on these. If you need to look those up on the site, you've got every single part here listed in the index of the manual. So very, very cool. They want you guys to be able to work on this yourself and replace any parts that fly off of it or break or get damaged while you're bashing it around. So pretty cool. That's the 1/24th scale. This is four-wheel drive, like we mentioned. Let's go ahead and pull this out of the box. Set that to the side. This is running on 2.4 gigahertz, as most models nowadays are. Go ahead and pull the transmitter out. I was pretty impressed with the transmitter. It seems to be made really nicely. I've seen a lot of these transmitters on some of the cheaper cars, and they feel really chintzy. This one feels like a pretty decently durable, good quality. It has a rubber handle grip on here. Sometimes those can be plastic. It has a nice dense foam controller. It feels really natural on the controller. Flip up 2.4 gigahertz antenna. Make sure you flip that up so you can get the best range. And then you're going to have 4 AA batteries that go in the bottom here. We've already put in some energizers, so those should last quite a while for plenty of driving with this. Now, the car itself, I'm really impressed with the build of the quality of the car. Right away I noticed that it had a metal body frame, and this is great for indoor racing or any course racing. If you're racing it around on the street and you hit a rock, you're not going to crack something on the bottom of your frame. This is just a rock. Any rocks are going to bounce right off the bottom of this. And all the parts for the shocks are pretty well leveled out with the bottom of the frame, so it doesn't look like a lot of that's going to catch and pop off like I've seen with some RC car stuff. these parts up inside here are all made to detach if they hit something really hard, so you can just pop it back on. Some of them are screwed on with little Phillips head screws. Now, little tiny clamps on holding on the canopy. So let's take the hood off and look underneath. Now, right away, you see that inside here, there are more metal parts up inside here. So very durable made. There's a bridge running from the front to the back that houses the receiver here. There is an on and off switch on this side, and the motor and ESC, everything plugs in here. And it looks like this is a brushed motor edition. So this is going to be not quite as fast as a brushless version, but from our testing that we did outside with this already, I mean, this thing gets up and moves out really fast. So I noticed that the trigger was also touch sensitive, so if I pull on it just a little bit, it'll go kind of cruising at a slow speed, and if you pull on it really hard, it'll just take off, which is really nice. So if you want to do burnouts and donuts and stuff like that with this thing, it'll do a 360. So it has a really nice power to weight ratio when you're driving this around, or if you're course racing with it, it's nice that it has a gradual throttle, so you can kind of come into those corners slow and speed out of the corner as you leave and you exit the corner. We'll go ahead and pull these pins. On this side of it, it does have a little bridge that holds down the battery. There's 2 pins holding that on, so you can pull this cover off the battery, set that down, pull the battery out. We'll show you that. That is a 7.4 volt. This is a 500 milliamp battery. So pretty quick charge on a regular charger. If you put it on the one that came with it in the box, that's going to take around an hour and a half. And the charger is located on the bottom of the box. There's another little tiny box under here. We'll go ahead and pull that out, show it to you. And this has that European Union plug on here, so like I said, make sure you get one of these converters so you can use it in North American Electric. It's a 10 amp converter, so it'll convert it over to run on our electricity, and we can charge this with the other end. You'll use the white, this is the balance lead. Plug this in here, make sure it's plugged into the battery first and then plug it into the wall. You don't want to short the battery out. I don't think it will, but just for safety reasons, make sure everything's plugged in before you charge it. But like I said, this takes around, I'd say around an hour or an hour and a half to charge. Now, don't leave this plugged in if it's not plugged into the wall, because it will drain the battery. All this juice will run up this wire and it'll drain the battery, and you can have an issue with the fire. So be very careful with your LiPo. Don't leave this LiPo in the car when it's not in operation as well. So you always want to keep your battery somewhere safe, like in a LiPo bag or in some type of LiPo storage device. In case you do have a problem with this battery, because we do a lot of bashing around with these cars, and you know, if you have a problem, you want to make sure this battery is contained in your home. Unlike double and triple A batteries are not quite as volatile. We don't have too many fires with those. So safety aside, the cool thing about this is we tested it outside. We drove it around, we bashed it around, we jumped it off stuff, we drove it around the track, and we hit all kinds of stuff with it, and we didn't damage anything on the car. So for that $50 price range, it's pretty durable. All the pieces on there. One thing I did notice, and you just saw a part fall off here, this is the foam grommet that goes on top of the post that holds the canopy on. These little foam parts, the pads are just setting right on top of this stem here, so you want to make sure that you don't lose those. They can roll off into the floor. Brushless motor on this side, looks like it's nylon gears driving the gear shaft in the back, and the gear shaft looks pretty durable in the back. Also nylon gear drive on the back as well, and we have independent suspension on this. So this is pretty cool that something this small at 1/24 scale has independent suspension. So meaning left, right, forward, and back. So independent suspension on each wheel makes it really, really smooth to drive. When we had it out testing it with the camera on there, it was quite a hair-raising event driving this thing. So small, so fast, and so bumpy with a camera on it, but it was fun to do. I would slap a camera on it and race around the track for sure, especially if you're an indoor track. It'd be a lot of fun with the indoor track with a camera on this one, racing the other guys. You can kind of be sitting in the driver's seat, so to speak. So far, I gotta say, this is one of the more durable ones I've seen. I keep saying that over and over because it's the metal body. It's almost like a stock car racer car. Pretty cool, and the range on it is good enough to drive in close range. If you get out past 150 feet, you're definitely going to lose signal on this thing. It's just going to kind of come to a stop. But very, very nice car. We're pretty impressed with it. So we'll leave you now with some of the driving footage that we got, and we'll show you how fast it is and how much fun we had with it. So thanks again for watching, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us at the Drone Camps bench and talking about RC cars. Like I said, we don't normally do RC car reviews, but this one was a lot of fun. So we look forward to doing some more RC car reviews in the future. So thanks again. I'm Justin Davis from Drone Camps RC. Take care and Happy New Year.